you ever received a no that left an indelible mark on your mind? If your answer was yes, then welcome to the club. As a matter of fact, I read about this guy. The United States actually labeled him as the most rejected man in the world. Coincidentally, this same guy was labeled also by the United States as the most ambitious man in the world. Then it occurred to me that as long as you are not satisfied with the status quo, there's a possibility for you to receive a no here and an unfortunately there. Does that sound like your story? Maybe you've been rejected in your professional life or your personal life. Then this is the show you would love to watch. Welcome to my channel. My name is Abosede Fadipe, and this is Bouncing Back with B. And here you meet with real people. We keep it very real. You meet with real people, we share real life stories, real life experiences, and we talk about simple but empowering tools that can help you to bounce back to the life that you were born to live. Regardless of what you have faced in life, what you have encountered, or what you're dealing with. Now, if you are a returning subscriber, I celebrate you. Thank you for joining me again on the show. And if this is your first time on the show, wow, thank you so much for being part of the show. But do me a favor before I get into the topic of the day. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel so that whenever I upload something new, you will be notified. Not just that, I really appreciate you sharing this video with family and friends that might need this. Yeah, today I'm talking about handling rejection. I'm going to talk about how you can handle rejection in a productive and an healthy way so that you can achieve your goals and make progress. Regardless of whoever says no to you, or maybe the number of unfortunately you might see in your inbox with respect to your professional life. How do we deal with rejection? Now, let me tell you something. I see myself as a student of life. I have experienced certain things in life that had made me to make a decision to study life and certain packages that come with it. And one of such packages is rejection. We all experience it one way or the other. Somebody has said a no to you. Somebody has said, oh, I can't get this done, or I can't get that done. And you would have loved to hear a yes instead of a no. But that was what happened. How do you deal with it? The first thing when it comes to such packages is to understand that concept. So what is rejection? And thanks to Google that gave us a very simple meaning, the feeling rejected is the opposite of feeling accepted. Now that means we can actually say rejection is a feeling. And if it's a feeling, all we need to know is how to handle that feeling. As strong as our feelings are, they don't last. Permit me to say that. So I have come to realize that all we need to know to do is how to regulate our feelings. Yes, you heard me right. It is possible to regulate our feelings, especially the negative ones. Follow me carefully. I like to liken the feeling of rejection or any of our emotions to ice cubes. If you have your ice cubes at a particular temperature, say the freezing point, then you can be sure that you will keep it in that state. It will still be in that solid state. If you want to change the state, all you need to do is to regulate the temperature. Just change the temperature to room temperature, or maybe something different, maybe boiling temperature, then boiling point, then you can have your ice cube change state. So the same way you can regulate that temperature is the same way you can regulate your emotions. So what I'm going to be sharing with you, certain tips on how you can regulate your emotion, that is what I want you to follow through with me on this show, because towards the end of the show, I'm going to be asking you a question. Once you can answer the question and you are picked as our winner on the show, then you can expect a gift from the Bouncing Back team. All you need to do is put your response in the comment section, and wherever you are in the world, we will send your gift to you. 3 tips on how to handle rejection or how to regulate your emotion. The first thing is you need to choose your thoughts, because our emotions, our feelings usually are fed by our thoughts. Our thoughts are actually the things that feed our emotions. So you need to be able to know how to choose your thoughts per time. And you might want to ask me, Bose, how do I choose my thoughts? Let me shock you. You are already choosing your thoughts. You were not just doing it consciously. Somehow you have trained your subconscious to choose what you think per time. How come you think, oh, I want to think about this? You just find yourself thinking about one thing and not the other. It's because you've trained your subconscious. And that's the same way you can retrain your subconscious to pick on what works for you. I call them empowering thoughts instead of disempowering thoughts. The disempowering thought is what makes you feel weighed down, burdened, because you think somebody has rejected you. While an empowering thought helps you to bounce back, regardless of any kind of rejection you've faced. I'd like to quickly share my experience with rejection. Maybe that will help you to know that, yeah, it's possible to actually bounce back regardless of whatever experience you've had with rejection. So I used to really I used to be afraid of interviews because I didn't want to be rejected. I didn't want to hear that no. I didn't want to see that, unfortunately, in my inbox. But when I mastered this, I did something when I was about to change my career path, and that was I decided to send out applications. Now, I sent out over 250 applications. Out of that, I only got 11 recruiters. 11 recruiters actually got back to me. While out of 11 recruiters, I made it to just 3 hiring managers. So just 3 hiring managers reached out to me after the recruiters had told them about me or had submitted my resume. Now, look at the ratio, 250 to 11 to 3. Then out of the 3, I only got 1 job. Now, I want you to just imagine, I'm going to leave you to imagine the number of unfortunately that I had to read in my inbox, the number of mails that had to do with unfortunately that I read in my inbox. I just want you to imagine that. But regardless, I kept going. You might want to ask, so how did you know that you submitted over 250 resume or over 250 applications? Because I was keeping a record. I had an Excel sheet where I was putting it, because during that time, one of the things I was dealing with was rejection, the feeling of rejection. So I was deliberately choosing my thoughts every day when I read that kind of email in my inbox. And that is one of the things I'm telling you, that it's possible for you to choose your thoughts per time, to pick on the empowering thoughts that keeps you going so that you can still achieve your goal regardless of what anybody says to you. And in your own case, it might be a personal thing. Maybe a guy or a lady chose someone else instead of you and you felt rejected. Now, let me tell you, the second point, the second tip would help. I want you to listen to this carefully, that people make their choices based on their intention. So it actually might not have anything to do with you. Because if you're thinking, oh, Mr. A chose Sarah instead of me, then there's something wrong with me. That means you're taking rejection personally. And it hurts more when we take rejection personally. But this is going to help you. Instead of choosing that thought, you choose this thought that people make their choices based on their intention. So the moment there is no alignment of intention, they would rather choose someone instead of you. It doesn't make you bad, and sometimes it doesn't make them bad. The next thing is people make their choices based on values. So I'm a single lady. I've met with guys after my husband passed on, and I have had to pull the plug by myself. Not that I started anything serious, but on some occasions, I was the one that moved back. Why? Because I discovered that both intention and values do not align. And the moment our intentions do not align, there's no need for us to be deceiving ourselves. So if the person feels rejected, then it will be a mistake on their path. It doesn't make them bad. It just means that our intention does not align. Oh, some people want to just satisfy their sexual need. And if that's not my intention, then I'll probably pull the plug or pull back. And that's the same thing that happens. So it's even on you as a person, maybe as a single lady out there, to check out people's intention. I'm not saying we should not ask a direct question. Oh boy, waiting be your intention. That's not what I'm talking about. There is a way we read in between the line when it comes to, trying to check what people's intentions are towards you. And when it comes to values, that's when it comes to you knowing you. I mean, I have a lot of other episodes that has to do with self-love, self-doubt. You don't want to miss any part of my episodes. That's going to help you to grow and become a better person. So what am I going to leave with you today, as we have talked about handling rejection? Just before I talk about what I'm leaving with you, I want to ask the question of the day. I talked about several applications that I had to send out. The question is, how many applications did I send out before I got just one job? So get into the comment section and write your response. Then if we pick you as the winner, then expect our gift wherever you are in any part of the world. We'll send you our gift. And the rejection. Now, my last statement to you is, make failure your friend. Many of us don't want to fail. We would rather ensure that we keep succeeding. Fantastic. I also want to succeed. I want to succeed with this show, isn't it? But when we make failure our friends, we will realize that it might be a way in which God is telling us, son, daughter, there's a better way for you to face or better way for you to go. That path that you're on is not the best for you. And failure is another way to begin again more intelligently. So you might want to embrace failure. That way, even when you feel rejected, you just pay attention and ask yourself the question, what can I learn from this situation so that I can still achieve my goals? Till I come your way again next time, remember, bounce back daily. Bye.